Okay, well, hello everyone. Hope you're doing good. It is, what is it, 10 o'clock now? Um, and I realized I hadn't had dinner yet, so we're having our Easy Mac, and I realized I also hadn't recorded a video for today, even though I wanted to. So we're doing an easy video for myself because I've learned that making videos is a lot harder than, well, it looks. So easy video for me today. Hopefully, I'm going to mess around with some ROS commands and get another video recorded tomorrow. And then hopefully also start uploading stuff to the YouTube channel tomorrow so that y'all can watch more lecture videos because you want to do that for some reason. So just let me take another bite of this and let's get started. So today what we're going over is essentially, I'm going to try and kind of draw, talk, but the way that I have the camera, my head will probably be cut off, so sorry, but you can deal with it. What we're going over mostly today is going to be kind of how ROS works as a kind of a layout for programming. I guess how everything works together. ROS is something that's known as a hub subsystem. And what that means in short is that you create nodes, and each node has the ability to publish to certain topics and subscribe to certain topics to get information. So what does that look like? And why would we care? That's another big reason. So how stuff might basically look is you might have a central system, central processing, central command, we'll call it. We'll call it central command, or CC for short. And CC is going to, it's going to be publishing and subscribing both. It's going to do both. Actually, no, it's not. I'm going to change it up. It is going to, this is just going to be kind of how a subscriber works. And so for this one, CC, or central command, is going to be the thing that's getting information. So if we have another node over here that we will say is our counter, say, and we'll just do counter, and then this counter is going to have a publisher inside of it. So we're going to denote that by saying P in the bottom left corner. And it's going to be publishing to a topic. So essentially what that's doing is it's sending that information out in lots of different ways. If we're drawing an ER diagram, it would literally go everywhere. And the idea is that it's going to say publish to a topic that's going to be num. So it's going to be publishing to num. And counter's job is essentially to iterate +1 every single tick or every single cycle, and then publish that new number. So what it's going to do is it's going to publish something to the topic of num. And probably tomorrow's video, my hope is that I'll be able to have this in code for you as kind of like a part 2 type deal to get you making your first nodes, and potentially, if I have enough time, making your first pub subsystem. That would be the idea, but we'll see how much time I have tomorrow. So it's going to be publishing to a num. I guess this is no longer that, but it's going to be a pub subsystem now because I'm tired. So counter, our counter node here is publishing to the topic num. So it's sending that out, but it's not going anywhere. If we don't have a subscriber subscribing to the topic num, it's not going to go anywhere. So if we have our central command that's subscribing to letter, topic letter, nothing's going to happen. Those two are not connected in any sort of way whatsoever. It's just nothing is going to happen between them. But if we change this subscriber to num, now what's happening, wow, look at that voice crack, is it is passing that information through topic num. So it's publishing to the subscriber. It's publishing to get it out there, and the subscriber is grabbing it. Okay? So it's always going to go publisher to subscriber. And then say central command is just going to take that information and say multiply it by 2 for some reason. Sorry. So say it's going to multiply it by 2 and then publish that information to a topic num2. And now what's going to happen is we're going to have a third node. And the idea behind that third node is that it's going to be taking that information and then say printing it to the console. So what this is going to do is if this had a, we'll do this is printer, we'll call it, or logger, or whatever you would want to say. And it is going to subscribe to num2. Okay? So what that would do is that would then flow that information num2. So now the num, say if it was 4, would come in from counter, it would get published, 4 would travel across here to the subscriber, then central command can do whatever it wants with it. So if it's going to multiply it by 2, and then it would publish 8, 4 times 2, 8, across num2 where printer can then print it. If we change this, if we just got rid of that 2 and we just said num, what would happen is not only would be counter be publishing and quote unquote connected to central command, it would also go to printer over the same topic num. Likewise, you can have, so that's like the biggest thing there is that you're going to have printer and that sort of thing. So you can print to multiple topics if you want. That can be whatever. For now, we'll keep it. But this is a basic hub subsystem. Another really basic one would be a call and response system. So you could have 2 nodes. We could just do N1 and another node N2. And this one is publishing on the topic of hi and subscribing to the topic hello. And then this one could be publishing to the topic hello and subscribing to topic hi. And then what would happen here is if it, say, added something, I don't know, it just basically concatenated a string with something, what would happen is you would get a loop between these two. And hi would come across here from node 1 to node 2, and hello would go from node 2 to node 1. Publisher to subscriber, publisher to subscriber. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, why do we care about this? Why in the world would we ever care about a pub subsystem specifically, I'm going to pull a chair over here, specifically for robotics? And the reason for that is because when we're using something called roboclaws to move the motors, each roboclaw is going to have its own node, essentially. And that node is going to be getting information that says, hey, we should do this. And if you're a programmer at all, you know that theoretically we could take that node and shove it into central command, but it's not going to look good. It's not going to be readable. It's not going to run well, very well. If you look through the files to the RoboClad drivers, there's a lot of code there, and you don't want to have to copy that every single time. So it's not optimal, I guess. Yeah. So I guess, you know, we've got these guys all here. That's pretty much all I had for this video. Hopefully this kind of does a decent job of demonstrating how it works and why we would use it. I guess for another thing, if we wanted to change this for a more, say, applicable use, say this thing that's publishing here is a, say it's a motor controller. We'll do MC. And the motor controller is going to be publishing a num to central command. And central command is going to take this number here. We're going to change that to drive. And it's going to take that number, and that number is, say, going to be the degrees of rotation that a motor is gone. And we only want the motor to go from, say, 0 to 180. Something like that, because any further would say break the robot. What's going to happen is every single tick, we can send a integer, I guess, across the topic num to central command, and central command can say, hey, is it between 0 and 180, or is it, you know, within that certain range that we want? Cool. Go ahead and keep driving, or keep moving, or stop. So we can say that this is just a Boolean, you know, of a start stop. So you might be able to see when things get a lot more complicated, and we've got lots of sensors, we've got vision sensors, we've got a lot of stuff like that. You can see how kind of having this connected method might happen when you've got, you know, 20 different, you know, sensors going into one thing, and then having that calculation also go off to multiple things. Okay. If you've got any more questions, feel free to ask team lead or another programming person or anyone like that. I'm sure they'd be happy to kind of shed a little bit more knowledge on kind of what's going on here. So cool. I hope you're having a good day. And I will see you in the next video.